These wars barely move people now, and they certainly don't seem to move policy. So today, I'm not here only to speak of suffering. You have seen it, and you see it every day, every minute, and in every dead child, every destroyed hospital, every mass grave. If you haven't seen it, to look away. Today, I'm here to speak of something that cannot be bombed, or starved, or silenced: our dignity. My sister Maisa lives in Gaza. Yesterday, her husband and her 15-year-old son, Jude, walked for more than an hour to reach an aid distribution point near Al-Rashid Street. Thousands, no hundreds of thousands, of people were there coming from the north and the south of Gaza, desperate to find a bag of flour, a little sugar, maybe some pasta. It was a chaos. A quadcopter flew overhead, shooting at the crowds. My cousin Khalid was injured. A piece of shrapnel lodged into his shoulder. He was lucky to survive. Tanks fired smoke bombs, making it hard to see. In the end, my brother-in-law, my nephew Jude, my cousin Khalid, came back empty-handed. No food, no flour, nothing. They had to run for their lives. My twin nieces, Dima and Rima, cried when they saw their father return with nothing. But my sister Maisa was relieved, because at least they came back alive. This is what it means to survive in Gaza. This is their daily life. Fetching food has become a battle of survival. They are lucky if they eat twice a day. Breakfast might be lentil soup, dinner, the same. A single quarter piece of bread must be shared. A portion so small it wouldn't satisfy a two-year. Others go hungry so their children can eat. Everyone has lost significant weight. My little nieces, my nephews, are visibly malnourished. Their skin is pale, their cheek is hollow. They live in tents now. Tents with no insulation, no water, no electricity. They cook over fires, collecting woods from the rubble of bomb buildings. My sister spent hours just trying to find enough wood to make a piece of bread. This is not a natural disaster. This is engineered misery. But still, we have not lost our dignity. My people, the people of Gaza, are not victims to pity. They are not a charity case. We are human beings with pride, with families, with culture, with dreams. We are teachers and poets, doctors and children. We love fiercely. We resist dehumanization fiercely. And so, I ask you, how dare you reduce us to statistics? How dare this government speak of restraint while watching children die of thirst? I stand before you as a British citizen, but more importantly, as a mother, a sister, a daughter, and a Palestinian. I stand before you not only to demand action, but to hold up a mirror to your face. I ask the British government, how many more children must die before you act? How many more mothers must dig through rubble with their bare hands before you find your voice? How many more bodies must be starved into silence before your conscience awakens? This is no longer just about Palestine. It's about what kind of humanity remains in this world. It's about the kind of parent you are when you tuck your child into bed at night, knowing that you did nothing while another child starved. History will remember. Gaza's children will remember. Your silence, your inaction, will be your shame. Let this be not another press conference where we beg for basic humanity. Let this be a turning point where Britain stops whispering about international law and starts upholding it. Because the people of Gaza are not waiting for your sympathy. They are demanding your courage. We call on the UK government to take immediate action, impose a full armed embargo on Israel, enforce political and economic sanctions, exert real pressure to bring an end to the genocide, ensure unhindered humanitarian access to Gaza, and guarantee accountability to every war crime committed. This is the bare minimum for justice, and it's long, long overdue. Thank you.
Thank you, Wafa. I'm conscious of time, so I'm just going to reiterate one thing before we move straight into the Q&A, and that's that, as I mentioned at the start, the unimaginable horror that our colleagues on this panel and on Zoom have testified to has been directly and materially facilitated by Britain, not only the past 20 months or even the past decade, but the past century from the period of British colonisation and occupation of Palestine, which predated the Israeli colonisation and occupation of Palestine. So I'll repeat it one more time. This is not only about ending a genocide abroad, it's about ending complicity at home. It's about justice and it's about accountability, it's about basic humanity. With that, I want to thank my speakers again from the bottom of my heart for all of your testimonies. And we have a short time that we can do a Q&A, so if there are any questions, we'll collect a few at a time. Please let us know who you are and your affiliation, and we'll take a few at a time and then answer them that way. There's one here I can see. We've got a mic that's going out.
Might be on.
Namesh from the National Event Center for what's happening to all the families. Can you tell me about your experiences trying to bring your families to the UK, if any of you have tried? And the Prime Minister met with Palestinian committee, the British Palestinian Committee or Association a few months ago. Is it likely another meeting could happen soon?
Any more? Are there any more questions you want right now? If not for the moment. Okay.
Hi, how are you? As you know, we, the UK Gaza group, we have created this group since the genocide started almost 18 months ago, and our demand was to create a scheme to our families that our beloved ones can join us. Unfortunately, it was so negative from the government, from the Home Office, from FCDO, from the Prime Minister, even the ex-government. We have contacted them. We have sent more than 5,000 emails from the group. We have supported the petition, which gathered more than 100,000 signatures. There was lots of pressure, lots of communication. Unfortunately, it was so negative, and they manipulated the responses most of the time. Which is, I basically, until today, approval rate, it's almost zero to bring someone from there. And don't forget, there is technical issues when it comes to applying for family members. Like, what are they going to do the biometric? That's a question. Because again, we say them create a scheme to Palestinian more simple, that we could request our families to be evacuated. we unfortunately failed. We got no support, people left neglected, and that's, I believe, was a shame. So, however, after these voices being here, the Prime Minister have requested to meet the community, or the Gaza community specifically, but I still do believe it was a kind of political show, not more than genuine meeting that they could pledge something to our community or take it more seriously. Thank you. I hope this answers your question.
I would just add to that that as the British Palestinian Committee as well, we had, at the time that the Prime Minister met with a few Palestinians, we had just sent a fifth letter in the space of 6 weeks on different massacres that had been taking place, asking for immediate action, asking for a response. We had no acknowledgement or response to that. When we finally got an acknowledgement 3 months later, there was a line in there about, oh, we've met with the Palestinian community now, so that's it. So I think that tells you a bit builds on what Bertrand was saying as well. Do we have any more questions for anyone?
Kieran Monks from the IAN newspaper. Just interested to hear anybody's experience with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation's new organisation this summer. Sorry, one more for Steve Witherden. You mentioned this gap between words and actions from the government. Why do you think that is?
Sorry? Yes, sorry. Can you repeat the first question for us, just so we've got people online?
Just interested to hear about any experiences with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, this new group has set up these hubs.
Yeah. Do we have anyone online that wants to answer first of all?
If anyone online want to answer that, you will hear it.
No, I'm sure spoke about it briefly, I'm not sure if he's there.
Just 1 second. Fine.
Thank you, but just to hear again the question about GHF, I couldn't catch all this, the question.
The question is just about what your experiences have been with this foundation, what stories you've heard, and so forth.
Thank you. Experience that 102 Palestinians were killed. 3 of them, 3 women, 1 child. These starved Palestinians, under the famine, they went to catch up some aid which was distributed in these military sites, mainly in Rafah, south of Netzarim. They were shot and killed. About 450 injured. There is no application of any of the humanitarian principles, whether the safety, security, dignity. People were insulted and such shows behind the fences, no medical treatment, no inclusive approach happened there. Just they opened the gates that people can collect very limited amount of aid, and as I said, this plan is to serve this mechanism is to serve the Israeli plan to force displacement for the Palestinians from Gaza North, and this was clearly declared by Netanyahu himself. The first step of that displacement, and the second to have concentration camps on the south for the Palestinians under the security measures of the Israeli occupation forces. It's very serious, very risky and dangerous. It's unprecedented, not only in Palestine, in Gaza Strip, it's all over the world, to replace a humanitarian structure consists of UN, INGOs, national NGOs, with such military companies to control the humanitarian aid and to distribute it to the civilians. This kind of engineered starvation to lead to such point, and it looks that the Israelis want to have it as de facto on the ground, whether it's failed or not. They want to have it on the ground in order to make displacement for the Palestinians under starvation, under these orders for continuous evacuation, and at the same time to exclude